Good evening, Pedro. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And you, Stuart, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm in happening Derby today, enjoying the delights of being here in the middle north of the UK, I guess it is. Yeah. And welcome. It's our celebration of the year, that moment where we allow ourselves just to smile and say, didn't some things go well?
Yes, we did. Yes, they did.
It's good. I mean, the
Uh,
British and the Portuguese were not good at this, right? It's not a comfortable thing for us to celebrate and have a little pat on the back and whatever. But it's been a good year and there's been some amazing things happen. So it's a great moment to try and just talk about it a little bit. And hopefully there'll be some people watching this live and some people watching this back. And if you've got some thoughts or comments and you just want to chip in, then please put them in the chat. We see those comments come through, and they also, as we reply to them, they'll go out on the YouTube and so on as it's distributed. Thanks, Lodi. Appreciate you being here. All right, so why don't we start, Pedro? What is one of your favorite highlights of the year? Something that you really made you smile during the Canopy year?
well, bearing in mind that we did so many things and so many different things, probably the experiments. Um, this year, since we're always trying to, find better ways to serve the community and, understanding what are the needs and how we not only increase the community and strengthen the bonds, but also being able to enforce, peer relationship and sharing of knowledge and experiences. Probably I would select what we did in I don't know, probably before summer, the experiment that we called the campfire.
The
Uh,
campfire. You like the campfire when we had all the Bay students with us.
Yeah, that's amazing because we were on a different location, as a traditional location that we use at Temanet. Time to thank you, Zebra, by the way. And we had experts on AI talking about AI in general, how they're using AI and challenges they're facing. And then the open mic for everyone in the audience. And in the audience, we had a large group of base students. So a great mix of Portuguese students, British students, and normal startup founders and other sorts of people, including people from the Zebra cohort. And it was amazing to see how things were blending, from experts to non-expert people sharing how they were using AI and the challenges they were facing, and and it was interesting because even though it at the beginning was like a campfire and an audience, it started blending and in the pizza and beer moment. All that energy that was already super high just erupted, and it was I know it was absolutely amazing, and I think we're definitely gonna keep on trying new experiments, new ways of bringing value to the community. I don't know.
You know,
I know what
there's,
about you?
There's something I really loved about that campfire as well, and I won't embarrassing her by telling her name. But one of the students from Bays, she had spent the week with us, and when we talked about doing the campfire stuff towards the end of the week, she'd said to me really clearly and very vocally in front of the others, she said, "Look, I don't do things like this. I don't like being in these sort of situations. I don't want to really take part of it. It isn't really something that's comfortable for me." And she also said something really, I think it was equivalent to, I don't like people almost. It was, she liked her small group, but she didn't like big groups and stuff. And it was super interesting. And then halfway through the campfire, I was out sorting something and I came back to find her taking up a seat and talking about her viewpoints and really enjoying the whole thing. And it's just, it becomes such a safe space for her. And she just felt able to express it. She was really kind of commanding the whole thing. And I just thought it was lovely. It was, that transformation for her. I really loved it. So let me see. I've got
That's just
interesting. Matt's
became
saying he
local.
can't join. Oh, well done. Like that backdrop. That's great.
Now we're both, on a celebration mode, a bit Christmas-ish, but localized. This is my beloved Lisbon, part of it at least. And yeah, it's amazing how people, when they start feeling comfortable and we create this safe environment that I was trying to build, they kind of stop worrying about, how people would judge them and how good or bad they will perform. I remember doing just before I said someone I knew from the audience. She's a Portuguese, very bright student and an entrepreneur in the making. And I was saying, "Hey Nish, I want you to, jump to the campfire." And she was, "Oh, I'm not that kind of person." "Ah, yes, you are." And I gave her a bit of no chance. You have to do it. And then she came there, became natural, and yeah, it's incredible when people feel safe and sharing something. They kind of, "Oh, Madame Elodie, Mister."
Look at this. Elodie, it's like melody without the M. It's great to see you. You finally
I
taught me how to say your name. And you brought the canopy with you today. That's magic.
Yeah, have the background that fits it.
So you've been one of the fabulous People's Choice Award winners this year. What's been one of your highlights, Elodie?
I think understanding the community better, because I didn't come into the Canopy community like straightforward. I think it was through an acceleration program, Acceleration 23, and that's how I
Yeah,
luckily
Philip
got
23 with
into.
us.
Exactly, and that's how lucky I got into the demo night and in contact with you, and then afterwards my journey started. And I think for me this year it summed up during Web Summit to really having a bit everybody there, because the community goes like Lisbon, London, and so on, and there was a lot of people who were like gathered there. So that was for me amazing to see people in real life.
Fantastic. One of my favorite moments of the year with you, Elodie, was the pitch training day that we did during the Web Summit week, and seeing you guys up on the wall and staring into each other's eyes. So I really enjoyed that. And it was kind of like the way you all developed during that day was quite startling, but that memory of how uncomfortable everybody was, including me, up on that wall staring at each other's eyes and getting used to that how do you hold eye contact kind of moment, that was brilliant.
It was awkward, but it was nice.
And everything else seemed easy after that, right?
Yeah, like I said, what was great is that the whole day wasn't about like prep your pitch and get your decks in order, but it was more of like, let's get us as uncomfortable as possible. So when you talk with somebody, you feel a bit like nervous about it. You were less nervous because like you already were very uncomfortable for a whole day. This was easy peasy then, so it was nice.
It's very good, very good. And hello, Matthew. Nice to see you, my friend. What's been one of your favourite things of the year?
There's been so much. It's been such a busy Canopy year. The amount of
Oh, mate, I'm not sure your headphones are headphoning.
um, says they should
You need to talk to a technical person, sort that out for you.
well,
I know a great CTO I can call if you need.
Yeah, he's magic.
you can hear me now.
Oh, yeah, now you're headphoning.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
It decided to connect to my phone's microphone, which was in my pocket. But there we go. That's technology for you. Yeah, it's been so. I mean, this year's been so incredible in terms of the kind of the volume of stuff that we've done at Canopy. It's quite hard to pinpoint like the big moments. I think there's been so many. I think doing the Cornwall demo nights have been a real privilege for me, being a resident of Cornwall, and there's not a huge amount of startup ecosystem in Cornwall. So being able to bring something to the area I live that's kind of really needed for the startup community, what little startup community there is, but to have some community, that's the whole point. Um, that was really, really great. And also kind of evolving how we run the demo nights, introducing a mentee to make it a bit more interactive, and just getting into the flow to the point where it felt like we were quite a slick operation, which I'm not sure has ever been said before. So that was.
That must be the ones I wasn't at. That was probably gone a lot better.
So no, that there's lots of highlights, but those are some of the ones that stand out, I guess.
Well, I mean, we all get involved in demo nights, right? But Elodie, do you know how many demo nights we've run this year as an organisation?
No, I don't know the exact amount. I'm guessing a lot.
22, Elodie. We've run 22 this year, 10 more
Wow.
than any other year that we've ever done it. 2 of those were remote. 8 of them, 10 of them were in London. I think 8 of them were in Lisbon, and 3 of them were in Cornwall, and then we did our first ever one in Bristol, and I think that adds up to 22 if I get that right. But it's a crazy amount for us, and it was all kind of catalyzed by the grant that the Portuguese government gave us this year, the PRR grant, which we're very thankful for. But for something that I love so much as Demo Night, I have to say, by the Bristol one, I was kind of stealing myself a little bit. Getting to the 22nd one was just, it was almost like a bridge too far. There was just too much organization going on. But what an amazing moment to do, not just Cornwall, but also the first ever Bristol one. How many did you attend in the end, Elodie? Because you did obviously the Lisbon Web Summit one, and you did the Startup 23 one. Was there the only two that you attended? Oh no, because you came to the
first speed dating one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell people, what was the speed dating one like?
Okay, so what was interesting is that the speed dating one, the normal demo nights would be you have people who present, and you as an audience just sit there and listen, and based on that, you vote. And the speed dating one, as how speed dating works, is that we would just sit, and the people who were presenting actually were going around, and they had each 10 minutes. And I think they were also quite free of well, they were a bit indicated of you have 2 minutes and then you have 8 minutes of questions. But what was nice is that in a small group of 3 people, we could ask immediate questions, which gave us a lot of information in the sense of if you don't understand it through the demo, it's good that you have some questions. And I thought that we started to ask questions that were very relevant to us. What would it benefit me? Could this product help me? Could this idea help me? Which opened up far more interesting conversations. So I did like it. And I also told you, I think, on the evening itself, Stuart, that this was ideal for people who are pivoting. If you're in a startup and you're pivoting and you're not really knowing of is this a good idea? Should we go with this? It was the ideal testing ground of having a first honest reaction of people, that get presented to. So I really loved the experience. And it was also a lot of fun. It was very it
was
felt
a different
informal.
energy, right?
Yeah. And we had a bit of a drink, and we even got some food. So it was everybody was really happy.
Well, big thanks to Nina's Brunch Cafe as well, because they did those great burgers, didn't they? They were super lush.
Yeah.
And I think it was maybe 2 or 2.5 hours after we finished that we basically had to remove everybody from the cafe, because I think it would have gone on for a long time. It was
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, so Matt, how many People's Choice Award winners did we have this year?
Well, 22.
Believe it or not, we had 26. So we had
Okay.
we had a couple of joint winners, one of which was Cornwall. So we had two founders on those, and we had a couple where 2 founders took the stage. So we kind of gave them both, if you like, the awards. But we ended up with 26 that we feature over the year, and that's the most consistent year we've ever had. We've got a People's Award winner out of it, People's Choice Award winner every month, sometimes more than one. And we've actually got them all in one place and know who they are, which is, for a Canopy thing, this is something to celebrate, right? This amount of organization is unheard of in our community. We've even managed to tell people who they are and do the interviews and elevate that whole thing up another notch. And you know what, Elodie, you're now part of what we call the first Canopy vintage.
Vintage. Yeah,
Vintage.
I think we have to review that word. Calling me vintage. I mean, we're all creative minds here. Maybe we can find something that is a bit more.
It's quite a VC term. It's usually the ones you invest in within a fund. It's like the vintage bear. Okay. What do you think was the highest winning margin of any People's Choice Award in the year? Pedro Guimaraes.
You know the answer. Is it fair for me to
Yeah. But can you remember the number? Can you remember who it was, and can you remember the number of votes that she won by?
48, I think. On top.
On top, yeah. And who was it?
Soraya Gadit from InnoCrowd. Amazing Soraya. She was absolutely. I must say I'm a bias here because not just I love Soraya, but I think InnoCrowd is such an amazing idea. She has 1.3 million creators, as in investigators, teachers, innovators of all sorts on the same platform. 1.3 million solving problems. It's probably the best problem solving marketplace I've ever seen. And she tells amazing stories, one of which was solving a weird GPS problem on the Lisbon airport. That in the end, the solution was just removing certain object from the place where it was located. It was generating interference of some sort. And so they saved a lot of millions of euros finding in the end, bringing the solution. It was that, and this is all because of Unicrowd. And Sarah is so humble. She talks about it. Well, but yes, it was an amazing, in a very complex demo night with other great ideas also being pitched. So
And that
kudos
was
to
our
her.
first one at Nova as well. So it was stacked up with students in their Discoveries Week, lots of energy and vibe. And it was in the, if any of you have been to the Nova Haddad campus bit, it's like a glass box, basically. So as you're giving your presentations, students and other people are walking past on the outside, and then we'd see people looking in through the glass box and then actually coming in through the door and joining in as well. And that was super cool. That was super cool. All right, Matt, what do you think of Rita Castrati?
Well, I'm probably slightly biased because I'm now a fractional CTO for Pioneering People, but I think she's awesome. Yeah, and she's won 3 of our demo nights, hasn't she? That must be a record.
So she's won 2. She got an honorary mention in the first one, and then she got invited into the London Tech Week one, which she picked up the People's Award, and then obviously the Web Summit edition as well. And I think she was quite surprised that in such a high caliber night that she would be awarded that, and we got voted that by the group. And she went up first again, which seems to be her secret, to be the first one on the stage. And you think the first one will not do well because they'll be forgotten by the time you get to the end. But somehow, I don't know, she just got all her friends to vote online or something. I don't know what it was, but she got it.
I think it's that storytelling ability. I think it's the ingredient for any kind of really successful pitch. Is bringing that narrative and also kind of an element of emotion to it as well. I think it helps really kind of connect with the community, but also kind of the people who are there on the night. So yeah, no, it's been a really great year for Rita and Canopy.
I really liked the contribution from Taiwan during that demo night as well, and he totally changed. He 180'd his entire approach by the time he got to demo night. In 24 hours, he'd gone from, as he put it, quite dull and about 647,000 slides through to throwing an egg in the air surrounded by the mattress foam. And you're kind of this was a really great demo night moment to actually see him live that thing and kind of bring his personality out. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, the audible gasps when the egg hit the floor was.
I wasn't sure if he'd hard-boiled it before he did the thing. All right, Elodie, what's your best guess? How many founders are there currently on the Kajabi platform in Canopy in some sort of program or other, or in community part?
Well, so basically, in total, the amount of founders.
Not our entire mailing list, just the number of founders who are on there doing something in some way, shape, or form.
I really don't know. So I'm really bad at. I don't know. 250. I'm going for that.
All right, Matt, what's your best guess?
I should know this. I'm going to go for 600.
So 250 or 600, you two are totally on the same ballpark. All right, Pedro, how many founders are there in the community now?
562.
All right, as of this morning, the platform tells me it's 649.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool,
Congratulations.
Right? Obviously, clusters in the UK and in Lisbon, and then some outliers in Boston and Bangalore and Singapore and so on, and people from all over the place in little dribs and drabs. But yeah, 649, which is kind of cool.
So, if you don't mind, regarding demo night, the Web Summit demo night, one thing, and it's great because Elodie is here and she was there, so she can give her own opinion on this.
We were all there. I remember.
Yeah. But
wine did you have?
Why I refer to Elodie? Because she was one of the founders pitching. And he did a lot of things between Monday and Wednesday when he did the demo night. And our goal was to try to help them improve and benefit from whatever we were trying to do. And two amazing things. One was all the amount of work each one of them did during those 2 days. It was actually 3 days, absolutely amazing. Everyone super connected, everyone willing and open to, not, I won't call it learn because it's a bit too much about us, but, getting whatever they could. And the amount of effort, and they were super focused. I was remember saying a few things to Elodie just before, and she was like, in the focusing moment, she was, organizing herself. And this willingness to learn and improve, and being so open to work so much, say so much about them. And I'm not saying this because you are LOD here, LOD. It's absolutely true, and you saw it. You can say, you can give your comments later, but for example, the bright founder from Taiwan was reusing these slides. Wednesday morning, he tells me 16. I said, okay, you're just 12 too big.
Yeah.
The
And
brief
in
of
the
four,
end,
buddy, four. That's it, right?
but he was happy. He was 16, and he had a supporter, which was not a co-founder, but a teammate that was always there for him, always there
Mhm.
for him. And big kudos to her also. And it was amazing because after all this, and he was working and working and working and working, reducing slides and reducing, and sharing the amount out. 16 now, And in the end, he starts with a package of mattress and throws an egg to the air. Like, yay! The guy listened to us, and it was absolutely amazing. And I just want to say this as a compliment to Elodie and all the others that pitched on that night for the amazing amount of work they did, and made for us, at least for me, it made me so worth it. We did it. We stayed there. We did our best to help, and not it's because of what you did, not because of what we did, but it was worth it in the sense that you actually tried to pick whatever made sense to you from everything we're trying to do. And but the coach, the being coachable and hardworking persons, I think are two relevant things to succeed
Thank
in this
you.
career. Sorry for taking so long, but I wanted to share this.
Happy days, happy days. All right, so a year ago when we were celebrating the year, we'd been told we got the PRR grant, but we hadn't received any funding. We'd moved onto Kajabi as a platform for the first time just a couple of months before this celebration. And the stats that we had were that we were getting about 6,000 unique views a month on our website, which was never a particular focus of ours, but it was about 6,000. Matt, what's been the peak month, the peak number of views in 1 month during this year?
I think it's in the 30,000s. I'm going to go for 31,000, 32,000 maybe.
All right, Elodie, higher or lower than 32,000?
Let's go higher.
How much higher? How much higher?
I don't know. Let's go 5K higher. It's like
So you're
poker
going
here.
35. All right, Pedro, higher or lower than 35?
40-ish in the end.
40-ish. So
40-ish.
30. Okay, our peak month was just over 45,000 views, which was
Wow.
September, and we're at 30,000 this month. So the rolling 30 days of November. So that's a big difference in 1 year, right? And
Mhm.
Yeah.
what do you think are the most viewed pages on the site?
The
It's gonna be
mentors.
the mentors.
I mean,
Well,
they definitely should be. They definitely should be.
I don't
I
know.
think
It's the one that I
Blogger.
go every day. It's like, who can help me?
Phone
I
a
have a
friend, phone a
question.
friend, phone a friend.
But it's true. It's like, okay,
Blog
this one is
articles.
like, this is the one I need. I'm gonna put an appointment. It's an agenda. Like that was my page. I went basically every time I was on the site.
Very cool, very cool. What do you reckon, Matt? What do you think are the most viewed pages?
the blogs, I reckon,
Why do you
where
reckon the
we
blogs?
do the interviews from the demo nights. I think it kind of creates that not hype cycle, but it's kind of that interest in terms of we're running the demo nights, and then there's activity straight after the demo night of the interview with the people's choice. So maybe would be my guess.
All right.
Educated guess, I've got to say.
So is it the mentor thing? Is it the blog thing? Pedro, what do you reckon it is?
I would say blog. Even though it's flattering to see Elodie say mentors. Thank you.
She didn't say you. She said mentors. There's a plural there, right?
Yeah, I've put an S. I've put an S.
All right. So it is, in fact, the blogs. We get more than 60% of our traffic to the website through the blogs. We post between 5 and 12 blogs a month. And it's all thanks to the power of ChatGPT that we do that. So whenever we do like a vid like this, we get a transcript. We've got a train project area. We convert that transcript into an article pretty quickly. We SEO optimize for the keywords that we want for the site. Then we edit it to make sure that it flows like a proper article should and hasn't got any bloopers in it. And we get that out within an hour, usually, of most events. And that is what's being most read. We keep those articles, like they optimize about 600 words in size. So we keep them short and sweet. We give them a clear call to action, and they seem to be being read, and they certainly seem to bring the traffic onto the site, which is great. So I guess the more useful they are, the more people will read them, and the more it gets picked up because it's SEO'd, right? All right. We're at that point where we get to say what we're most looking forward to next year. Is there one really cool thing for you, LOD, with InkSpot? Like, what are you looking forward to in the next 12 months?
Well, for us, it's, how can I say, it's not that we like pivoted or something, but we upgraded what we were doing with InkSpot. For people who don't know me, very shortly said, what we want to do is actually matching people with the tattoos, the dream tattoos, which I'm going to give all the credit to Stuart. He made me come to this 8-word wonder of saying, matching you with the tattoos you never imagined loving. And I think that's such a beautiful sentence. You helped me during the Web Summit week to create that sentence. And that's what we're actually going to do for the next 6 months, is actually making that matching happen, making people happy, trying to find, their tattoo and their artists. And I think for me, it's just, I'm very happy that we're going to make that difference. It's going to be a huge difference when it comes to people finding, artists that they want, tattoos that they want. And I'm actually very happy to see how reactions will be from people. Like, I hope that we're going to make people happy. I think some people can always go like, like money and this and numbers and this, but I'm really hoping forward to see happy faces and people having art on their body that they're going to be happy for the rest of their lives. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, you proper live your startup, right? Like every founder, you proper live it.
Yeah. I think that, like when Matt was saying storytelling, we're not doing this only when we're pitching. We live it. It's like, I think really the best founders that you find in a startup are the ones who are so passionate about what they're doing, and they it's not just a story that they know by heart. It's a feeling, it's a passion that they go for every day. And I think that's what in the demo nights are the ones who always win it. It's the passion, and it's their that passion that they bring over, that they can tell to the people. And I think that's the most important thing. So if your game is winning numbers and making money, I don't really feel that you're going to be there until the end. I think passion is the most important thing.
And look, it's echoed by another People's Choice winner here. Get one step closer to living their content creator dreams. I think that's pretty cool as well, right? If you don't love it, why would you do it, right? Why would you do it?
Exactly.
So, Matt, I know we've got a lot. Go ahead.
I'll say, if Ellie doesn't mind, I would love to share something. I think it's useful. It may be useful to other founders. Elodie is this passionate young lady talking about the project she's building.
Not vintage. She's not vintage.
No.
She belongs to the vintage, group of our idea project, not her. And so we just saw her, talk with so many passion about what she's building. During Web Summit, she was in love with Demers, and these are the two sides of the same coin. And this is absolutely amazing, because sometimes people think, well, I either be pragmatic or emotional, things like that. And Elodie just showed that she is definitely an emotional kind of person, and she's in love with numbers. And it was amazing. We had quick conversation around a few things, and she was eager to know more and actually using it, which it's I think she has a lot of great ingredients. So I'm keeping looking at Ink Squad. I'm sure Elodie and the team will bring amazing surprises to everyone.
Let's hope.
Fantastic. So Matt, we've got a lot of plans for next year. What are you most looking forward to?
I think for me, it's probably going to be one that I share with you, possibly. So, the Canopy Fund is probably the most exciting thing for me next year because having been part of Canopy for maybe 2, nearly 3 years now, seen so many amazing founders, startups. Obviously, we take them through the demo nights. We've got all of the mentors that we can, offer them support and guidance. But we've never had the next step, the next natural step of those ones that need the financial backing. And actually having a fund that's kind of integrated in a way with Canopy community feels like a massive step for us, but also personally, a very exciting one for me because it's not something, I've not been part of a fund before. I've obviously been in tech for a very long time, been in the startup world for a very long time. But it's kind of a step a little bit into the unknown. So that makes it exciting. But also like the potential, I think, makes it one of those things that I'm most looking forward to in 2026.
And of course, you've done your own angel investing before, right? And you've been involved in startups that have been funded, but you've never been the person funding at that level before, right? Across the portfolio and things.
Yeah. So that's the like very well versed to most elements, other than kind of sitting the other side of the desk, if you like, and the one who actually hands out or does the due diligence on those investments.
Elodie, you gave me some feedback in the week about the fund. What are your thoughts about this? Do you think we're going in a good direction with this, a bad direction, or you think we should rethink our direction?
I did love the 4 pillars that you explained to us. That it's, I think it's also when you do the demo nights, you ask people those questions in those 4 lines to say like, how much would you refer it to your friends? How much would you invest into it? Like, understanding that. I think what is really unique in with you is that it's not only about is the numbers matching. Does it look good on paper? I feel that you have, as a Canopy community, a very nice testing ground that you can see how much are people, how do they desire this? Which it gives you a sort of unique insight on the startups of like, is this, because what do you all want to do with a fund is minimize risk. That you get a bit more information and you also have the ability to get close to people and actually see them on a on a less formal way, on an informal way that I think gives you also a bit of an edge of really being a fund that's not only there for them with money, but a fund that actually is there to, support them. And your community is a really big support system that makes it a unique fund. So I'm also very, as Matt, looking into how is next year going to be evolving in this, because I'm also very interested to see. You talked about it during Web Summit about it, and I think everybody who was there was very interested because sometimes we feel that we are only a deck or a data room or as good as a pitch deck. And before you get even through the door, it's so hard. And I think with you guys, we have the ability to show ourselves and that it gives you react different then.
It's very kind words, mate. Very kind words. So we've got a question in here from the audience. So a few questions. What will the ticket size be per startup? Matt, that one's for you.
So we're looking. So the objective is to raise a 1 million fund, and we'd like to make 10 deployments of 100K. I think there's some flexibility in there, but that's the headline that we're shooting for.
Yeah, so that's the first one. So the idea, it's quite a British model, but what we're doing is, and basically one fund a year. So they call them a closed fund. We raise the money and then we deploy it. So by the end of March, our goal is to have 1 million into the fund, and then we spend the next 12 months deploying 10 times 100k checks. And during that same year, we're going to be trying to raise 2.5 million so we can deploy 10 250Ks the year after. And then if we follow our plan, we'll raise 5 million the year after to deploy 20 250k checks. And that 250k is the limit of the particular tax regimen we're using in the UK. So it's the SEIS, which is not the number 6, as many Portuguese, when I try to describe this, it gets a bit confusing, but that is the Seed Enterprise Investment Scheme for the UK. So that's the model, and we're trying to do 10 of these, so 10 in a row of raising the money and deploying it the following year, and raising the money and deploying the following year. Let's see if we can do it, right? So second question was, is there a thematic industry, geography, business model, focus or preference? Matt, what do you want to say to that one?
I would say we're pretty agnostic in terms of industry. We're there to focus on kind of those first time founders, like the people that traditionally would maybe struggle to get investment.
Yeah, so we designed it to be the friends and family round for people that don't necessarily have that network to support that. The way it works is that the minimum ticket for anybody to put into the fund is 2k. So what we've designed is a model that anybody in the community, or a lot of people in the community, can put into that, whether they're UK citizens and taxpayers or not. The UK ones get the tax relief. They get 50% tax relief on the money when it goes in, which is great. And we're actually getting interest from institutional investors who want to put some of their fund into our fund, which is great. But the perfect goal is that 40%, 50% of the people in the room at demo night have actually put some money into the fund, and then they're voting for the People's Choice Award winners and elevating somebody because they think they're the right fit. And then that founder's going to get the first sight of that money. So Matt said we're industry agnostic. It's the People's Choice Award winners that are going to get line of sight to the funding. The first vintage get line of sight to it. We may not be the right investor for them. They may not choose it. They may be beyond us at that point. And those founders may not pass the due diligence, but that's how we're screening everything through the People's Choice Award winners. And will we be leading the pre-seed round or only co-investing? We'll be prepared to lead because we're going to do the proper due diligence. The demo night itself is a lot of the desirable stuff. Matt's going to lead on the feasibility stuff, and Rachel's going to lead on the viability stuff. And between that, we'll have a due diligence pack, which will then enable us to lead. Lots of questions. This is great. Thank you so much for this. Question number 4, any follow-on funding for portfolio codes, and how will secondaries work? Do you want that one, Matt, or do you want me to take that one? It's up to you.
I think you should take that.
Okay. So in year 3, if we've done the right job and we've followed our plan and it's all working, we will raise the next big fund on top of this, which is called an EIS fund, and that will be for the follow-on money. So that would be like a 30 to 50 million fund that would do the follow-ons for what should be companies in the first 3 years that are starting to need that. And there is a secondary market in the UK for these companies. It's all just been announced recently in the budget and the way this will all work, but there'll be a secondary market that we can work with should it make sense for the company and for the portfolio to do it. But we're sitting there with a long-term view of helping everybody we invest in succeed. And if the secondary is the right model, then we'll follow. Okay, and number 6, that's the last question, I think. How can we help with this idea at this stage? Well, asking questions is good because we are really seriously trying to work out how to do this in the best way. It's a regulated thing, so we have a regulated person who's helping us do all that construction. But what we're really trying to do is something special and unique that doesn't exist in the world today, focusing on this kind of friends and family round stuff and being, as Elodie mentioned, like this unique community recipe. And we hope it's going to galvanize everything in the community when we do it. But it'll only work if we keep listening to people like Elodie and people like that really understand this moment for the founder and for why the funding would be useful. And if we keep listening hard enough and we keep doing the right things, then hopefully it'll all work out. Okay. Pedro, what are you looking forward to in the next 12 months?
It also includes the fund, obviously, but it's more ensuring that we close the circle, meaning from ideation to the incubation programs, demo nights to investment. It has been all created and aligned to be a constant flow, not just for the fund, but of course mainly for the founders and the startups. And so orchestrating everything in a way that will actually work. This doesn't mean necessarily that someone that didn't enter in the ideation programs will never be invested. That's not the idea, definitely not. But trying to identify all relevant stages where we can actually add value. So we'll be following with that specific person or group of people who across the entire journey to a point where they are investable, and ensuring that this is not just something that we're saying here today, but the reality every day of every of the 365 days of next year is for me the biggest challenge, and actually great excitement to being part of it. Let's do it. We can do it, and with the help of people like John that is putting questions, and Ludi that is being amazing, sharing her thoughts and bringing not just her idea but their contributions, and everyone else within the community, or those 600-ish and 40 whatever number it is, I don't remember any longer. We can all do it, and we try to keep our ears open, understanding what the community needs and doing our best to provide it, the best way we can. And the fund is a great part, but the full alignment and the consistency of these deliverables for me will be the biggest challenge, and at the same time the biggest motivation for next year.
Thank you, Pedro. And I know you gave me a lot of grief at the in residence meeting that we had around how we amplify the impact that we do and how we join up that impact. And I think there were really good challenges that several people had in the team. So let's see what we can do with that and making these pathways much stronger as we go through the year. The thing I am most looking forward to, obviously the fund is huge, but the other one is the Student Accelerator Program. And that has just been crazy. And I want to thank Liam, one of the other People's Choice Award winners, for bringing that one to us. And for anybody who's not seen this already, what Student Venture is doing with a company called Unidays, and they brought us in as well now, is a nationwide student entrepreneurship competition in the UK, trying to engage with 3 million students around the country to encourage and foster entrepreneurship. They're anticipating about 4,000 applications for this program. The top 100 will go through a Canopy acceleration program over 4 weeks. And at the end of that, the best 10, the most investable 10, will land in front of a panel in London on April the 17th. Our very own Rachel Sestini will be on that panel representing the Canopy Fund. There are 4 other investors, one of which is a guy called Simon Squibb, who will be leading the panel. And there's real investment opportunity for the 10 when they get through. There's also Unidays are working with their partners to develop client and customer relationships for the startups as well. So, if this is a transportation startup, then maybe it's Uber that becomes their client or their customer or doing a proof of concept with. This will all be bridged by Unidays. And we've got targets to land each one of the 10 into investment and or customers by the time we get through. This is very awesome. And it's really a pleasure to be part of. And it's quite exciting every time we have the meetings and we put things into action. And we've already seen the first applications coming through and some great ideas and some really interesting founders. For the 3,900 that don't make it into the top 100, we've created a parallel track where if they pay £1, see that sign of commitment, they'll go through a parallel track, and the best of those will drop into the final selection for the final 10 as well. So they could bring themselves back within a 6-week process to actually be a winner as well and land in front of Simon Squibb. And the Unidays guys are really excited about this, and they see it as an opportunity to create an annual event in the UK, but actually a global entrepreneurship thing. So they have 30 million students on their platform globally, in English-speaking countries at this point, but they would like to run this as a global thing every year if we can make it work this year in the UK. So let's see. But in terms of Canopy's impact and our agenda to help early stage entrepreneurship, this is like a 10x moment, right? This is just crazy. And it's done as a teamwork thing. And probably the coolest thing, and one of my highlights for the year, is when Liam called me and said, can we do this? He said, not only do I want you to do it because I think you do a great job, but I want you to do it because you've helped us so much since we met you through the demo night process and met you at City University, and I just want to pay it back to you and say thank you. And it was like one of those amazing moments to hear from him in that way. So let's see what we can do with it. In the last meeting that we sat in, I don't think I'm saying anything out of school, but it's kind of all three of us organising it. And thank you to Rita as well for coming along to provide her input on what we're doing. We were all like, we're going to kick ourselves if we don't make the most out of this opportunity. If we don't deliver the sort of impact that it's capable of, we're all going to feel so sick. So we're all now kicking each other's butts to actually make the best possible job out of this acceleration process. Let's see where we get to. All right, this is supposed to be a celebration. Is there anything else you want to say before we finish up today? I'll go Matt, then Pedro, and finish with Elodie, and anybody who wants to put anything in the chat. So, Matt, what are you celebrating? How do you want to leave it?
I don't think there's anything new. I think for me, it's about celebrating that community spirit, because I think it is the community element of Canopy that brings all of these things together. There's obviously some people coordinating things, making sure that things happen on a proper cadence and all of that. But it's the community we're here for, and it's the community that kind of drives us and inspires us to do what we do. So I think very much taking that vibe into next year, and with all of these kind of exciting things, that the Uni Days partnership, the fund, and so much more. Yeah, there's lots to be looking forward to in 26.
It's kind of scary, isn't it? Pedro, what about you? What are you celebrating? How do you want to leave it?
Pretty much everything we did this year, just for being able to do it, absolutely amazing. The amount of things we did, and I just share a few figures, but there were a lot more that could be shared. And more adding to celebrate, I want to ask people to challenge us. We are a group of people kind of leading a community with no other role than trying to serve the community, being part of the community. And please, everyone in the community, not be more active, but challenge us. Tell us what you need. Tell us what would make sense to you. Tell us what's still lacking, and so we can be we'll try to find the best solutions, and join us in the best way you can. Join us by showing up, join us by being willing to pitch on the demo night, join us by joining any of our programs, or just by saying, hey, you're doing everything wrong, I would rather see you doing this and that, and we'll look at with the utmost respect and try to learn from it. And thank you everyone that made this possible, by attending, by pitching, by reading the blog articles, by being part of the incubation programs, ideation programs. Thank you, because I speak for myself, but I believe I can speak for a lot of guys in the CXO in residency. We do this for you and for that result. So just by existing, benefiting from it makes it worth it doing. So thank you for just for being part of the community, and please keep on challenging us. And I think we can do more. We still can do more with your help, of course.
That's Pedro's way of saying next time you come to a demo night, come up to him and give him a hard time about something. Okay, it's very important that you do that every demo night where you see Pedro. All right, Elodie, how do you want to finish this? What do you want to celebrate with?
I would like to celebrate actually all the nice conversations and happy moments that I had with co-founders. I think one thing is amazing is being around people that share the hardship and share the same struggle sometimes, and just having somebody that you could just say like, oh, we're so tired of it, and feeling that, okay, this is somebody who understands me, this is somebody who knows, because sometimes when you're with your boyfriend or your family, they're like, what are you talking about? And this is a community where you feel like, okay, these people know what I'm talking about, and you feel surrounded with good vibes. And I think every time I was on one of the Canopy demo nights or any online, I feel that you're supported. You feel surrounded with good vibes, good people. And I think that is something really amazing that I'm celebrating, to be happy that I had it this year, hopefully continuing in next year. And I hope this is something that other co-founders can experience as well.
Thanks for those very kind words. And I do remember you at the last Breakfast of Awesome as well, looking very settled with the company that you had there. So, I mean, Pedro said thank you. We're all excited about everything that's coming in the next year. I think it's been a blessing of a year, thanks to the PRR grant and the catalyst that made us do more. And it's sometimes, forgotten to reflect that nobody in Canopy is full-time. There's not a full-time CEO or a full-time administrator or a full-time community manager at all. This only works through the goodwill and grace of people that want to make it work. And some people get paid to do things, but most people do their mentoring hours and stuff for no charge. And they're doing it because they're part of the community. They've received value from being in the community and they're giving back into the community. And I think if that's not something to celebrate, I don't know what is, right? But look what we've managed to achieve as a distributed community where there is no full-time presence, where we've got people working in 4 different countries on things because they want to collaborate and want to be collegiate and want to help others to succeed. And when we look at how our message is sharpened up this year about leveraging entrepreneurship as a tool for social mobility, I see people even more compelled to help others and more compelled to pull people through and more compelled to share on a peer level and say, I did that 6 months ago. Let me help you do that. I'm sure we can do it quicker this time through. And a great example of that is Yuri, right? So Yuri raised money this year, 335,000 for his startup Hatch. And we modeled out how Yuri did it in 8 weeks from the first email to the money in the bank. And we've now put that into the SCIS fundraising course so that people can download literally the basic plan of what you do in what order. You can speak to Yuri and hear how he did it. You can see the interview from Hatch about why they invested in him. All this stuff helps everybody be quicker. And it's a great example of Yuri being able to give us a bit of time and wanting to give us a bit of time to make it easier for others to do what he's just done, rather than just watch everybody struggle in the same way that he had to struggle. So I celebrate that, and I celebrate each one of you for being here. Thank you so much, and I hope everybody enjoys that we've just taken just a little bit of time just to say well done and what an amazing year it's been. Merry Christmas, everybody. Get to say that now. It's December. Merry Christmas. Looking forward to 2026. Silly wave time.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.